right. Hey, everybody. I'm Spencer. That's our licensed clinical therapist, Nazir.
Yeah, boy.
And this is the Different Spectrums podcast. Welcome. All right. So, first of all, please subscribe to our page down below.
Right there.
Hit that follow. Hit that subscribe. Hit that like. Do all of it. We are a podcast that talks about mental health. Yes, believe it or not. We also like to make some jokes. So, don't take us too seriously, but, give us some leeway. Right?
Still pay attention.
Yeah, we're serious, but then we're also like assholes. So
Yeah.
give us a little leeway there.
Love you.
So today we were taking a look at a couple scenes from Shazam. Shazam.
Kazam?
Yes, Shaq, where are you? I am Kazam.
As a fat kid growing up, that was awesome because it was cheeseburgers falling out of the sky.
Believe me, when all the candy bars and everything was coming down from the sky, I was in heaven. I was like, why can't I get this? Why?
I could feel the diabetes hitting me in the head.
Why can't I find a stereo with a magic genie in it?
I'm telling you. Yep.
One day.
All right.
So first scenes that we're going to be taking a look at, it's all about being worthy or not being worthy. There you go. So one of the first scenes that we're going to watch is where the bad guy, he goes and technically he's in his car and then he gets flashed into this Coliseum, like a cave, I guess.
Temple?
Cave with an old man. Doesn't sound good once you say it, but it happened.
And you just said he got flashed, so.
Yeah.
He got flashed by an old man in a cave.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
This is the wrong show. That's our Patreon. Please subscribe.
For those who couldn't see me, pointing my fingers. All right, here we go. So he talks to this magical man who has powers, and he's only going to give his powers to those who are worthy.
Yep. Pure of heart.
And so turns out he's not worthy. And so he spends the rest of his life trying to find out why he wasn't worthy and gets his revenge. Dedicated, as some would say. And of course, we flash forward to when we have our young antagonist and protagonist.
The big words.
English is terrible for me.
Mm-hmm.
And he finds out he is worthy. He is worthy for the powers of Shazam.
The champion. Say my name.
And we're going to be taking a look at a couple more scenes. But like I said, we're talking about worthiness, finding your place in the world, being evil, I guess.
If we're being honest, he's also one of the sexiest motherfuckers there are.
Is he?
He is.
Is he?
I've had a man crush on him for a long time.
Which one?
The bad guy.
Oh.
I gotta look up his name.
He was in Kingsman.
Kingsman. He's in a few other movies before that too. He always gets these small roles. He's a very good actor. Very good.
He's a very good feature act. Yeah. Even though I bet he has some like starring roles, but he's a good feature act.
Yeah.
Anyways, Nazir, anything before we get into the clip?
You hit it perfectly. We're going to talk about worthiness. We're going to talk about all types of different insecurities and different things going on. Vengeance. We just touched on Vengeance Namor last week. So I think we're going to hit back on that a little bit more. And then we're going to talk about, I almost said something inappropriate. Seeking out our vengeance. This one specifically on our parents.
Oh, good.
Boy, he kills his dad, so I do not condone that.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. Spoiler. Jesus. All right, Nick from New Girl. All right, let's get to the scene. Woo woo.
I'll take Nick any day. Woo woo.
that is Shazam.
Who are you? How do you know my name?
I am the last of the Council of Wizards, sworn to protect the realms from the 7 deadly sins. But years have passed, and I grow weak. That is why I seek a champion to inherit my magic.
You want me to do magic?
With this, all my powers will become yours. But first, you must demonstrate that you're pure of heart and strong in spirit.
He lies. Don't be his champion. We can give you power. Take the eye. Your father thinks you're weak. Show him your power.
What? What happened?
Only the purest of hearts can resist their temptations. But you will never be worthy.
Hello, sir. How may I help you? Hi, sir. Sir, you can't go in there. Excuse me, you cannot go in there.
Sorry I'm late.
Thad, this is for board members only.
I'm aware of that, Father. Now, that night, in the car, I swore to you I saw something, but you never believed me. So much easier to blame me, wasn't it? And say that if I hadn't screamed that night, you'd still have your legs. Well, now I have proof.
That's enough, Thad.
Dear Sid, you think? You know, even before the accident, you belittled me.
Don't make me throw you out of here, Thad. You don't need to make a scene.
Oh, brother, the scene has only just begun. Ask that if you can throw me out.
What?
Ask the ball if you're man enough to throw me out of this room. Let me spoil it for you. Outlook, not so good. I've come here during the season of giving to give you what you deserve.
Help! Somebody! Help me!
You can't go crying to other people all the time. What sin best befits you, Father?
I'll give you anything. Money. The company, you want the company?
There it is. Read. Do you honestly think all this material you've accumulated amounts to actual power? This is power. More than you ever had. More than anyone has.
There is one more powerful. The wizard found his champion. Kill the champion before he learns his true potential, or he will defeat you.
Show me where to find him. Oh, Reed. You can have him.
No.
I dedicated my life to getting here. I scoured the earth. No one believed me. No one helped. Not the wizard. Not my family. I only had myself.
I get it. I get what that's like. Feeling like you're all alone in the world.
Stan.
Feeling like there's that one thing, and if you could just find it, then you'd finally be good enough.
Stan. The champion's name. Say it.
Look, no offense, mister, but I don't think these things have your best interest at heart.
Don't listen to this child. Take the staff. Hold it and say the champion's name.
They're using you. You have to see that they are using you.
Say your name.
His name is Captain Sparklefingers.
And we're back, folks. Welcome. So before we get into it, please subscribe down below. Yes, yes. Where he's pointing with his long ass nails.
I know it's too long. I need to cut it.
Yep, Spotify. He has fucking tiger claws for nails. Jesus.
I got little danglies.
Don't cut somebody with that shit. I swear, when we were playing basketball a couple times, he cut me. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Ow.
It looks like Joker for the Nuggets. He's always torn up from like people's fingernails. It's bad.
Oh wow. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna deep dive into these scenes. Had a mild stroke there. Whoops. So first scene that we see, Thaddeus gets transported to the temple, like I said before. Now, when we break down this scene, we see that the seven deadly. You good? You good, homie? All right. 7 deadly sins are there, and they're kind of pushing him towards being evil. Also, he has a very tumultuous.
Bad.
Very bad relationship with his dad, who also played Lex Luthor's dad in Smallville. So he has a good grip on being a shitty dad.
Oh, it's good to know.
Shitty dad.
You're typecasted as being a bad white father. That's good.
Pretty much, yeah. That's his job now. And so now the deadly sins, talking to him, saying how his father was pretty much right on what he was saying, and how you're weak and you can't do this. And so they're pushing him towards taking this eye, even though it's a test of him seeing if he has the will to be purely good. And obviously he fails, and then he gets transported back into his car where he's not worthy.
Yep.
He makes a good point at the end of the movie where he goes, I'm a child. How am I supposed to make that decision? Like, of course I'm gonna go with like I want power and stuff. Like I think obviously 99% of people are gonna fail that test. Gonna fail it. Um, and then kind of we're gonna jump forward with Billy. He gets his powers. So the whole backstory of Shazam is Billy, who is left at a carnival by his mom.
Jesus
And
Christ.
no, that was pretty bad. And throughout his life, he's just trying to find her. So he's going from foster home to foster home because he doesn't really want to stick with any of these families, even though they might be good.
Yep.
He doesn't want to stick with any of them because he's just trying to find his mom and then, have a family with her. And so then he finally meets his new family. They have a whole list of characters in there.
Mm-hmm.
And he finally jumps into actually liking them a little bit. It takes him a while, but he actually starts to actually like them. And then he finally gets to meet the champion as the 7 deadly sins get broken out. And I wonder if the 7 deadly sins were there, if he would also fail in that. Correct. Because they were gone at that point. Right?
I also feel like it was the last chance and last hope. So I think that the dude was going to pick him no matter what. It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. And so he was going to be the champion. He does. Says Shazam, becomes this big superhero. Yeah. I mean, let's take a look at the first scene. What do you think about when you saw this first scene? What did you think about?
The first scene with the champion, right? And so I was like, I said the same thing too. Like that'd be a tough situation for a young kid to pick something. You probably think that you're schizophrenic after you were just driving in the car and now you're there. I don't know how anyone could make a logical choice. Then you got these little demonic gargoyles like speaking to you.
True.
And then you immediately get told you're unworthy. Reminds me of the Thor scene that we did a long time ago, where he strips him of his medals and everything. You're unworthy of my love.
That was also different because he did some pretty stupid things.
Yeah, he did. He did some dumb stuff.
And he wasn't really as young as him. Like he was in his 20s probably when that happened.
It's a grown
he's just
man child.
Like 10.
Yeah, this kid was tiny. And I think it was like as that moved forward, he's like, but wait, I'm worthy, wait. In the car, and then technically the accident happens, his dad gets paralyzed and all that stuff, and his brother's like, you piece of crap, and thus starts the cycle of him going down this rabbit hole, finding the eye.
Right.
I think it was a good origin story. I think I was kind of surprised that he ended up being the bad guy. I think, I thought he was going to be the champion when I first saw it. And then, lo and behold, he's the bad guy. And like the mad scientist. There's some ways to therapize it, and we'll get into that after this. Your thoughts on the scene?
Honestly, like I said, it's more of you're not going to be able to, especially at that young of an age, like you're not going to be able to make that decision. I'm surprised he even kept his sanity at all, right? Throughout, like, I will say I give him a lot of credit because he was very determined to find this guy. He was very determined. He was like, I'm finding him and I'm getting my revenge.
Yep.
Like, pays off. But yeah, it's tough because it's like he's such a neurotic guy. Like he literally throws his brother out of a window.
I forgot about that, and when I rewatched it this weekend, I was like, "Damn!"
He didn't even think about it. He was like, "Well, throw his ass out."
Side note: I went and bought a Magic 8-Ball, after I watched this movie for the first time, like whenever it came out, and so I've got it, and the damn thing's broken. It doesn't even work.
Oh well, there you go.
Yeah.
Outcome not looking good.
Not looking good.
Yeah. Like I said, I think Billy had a lot easier of a choice. Definitely. I don't believe, because if they would have brought up like his mom and like, yeah, we can help you find her or something like that, you probably would have taken that instead of going the high route. So different circumstances, but at the end of the day, I just love how they brought in like the seven deadly sins as like villains. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
Like never have seen that, and such a unique cast of villains, right? Like
Yep.
obviously Mark Strong does a great job playing a villain, but you know,
Yes.
having those seven deadly sins, I was like, oh, okay.
It adds something, and this technically you would almost know that. Of course, Shazam was gonna give it to his siblings, and then the seven fill out, right?
Right.
I also think how they use greed in there was nice to attack the father, which we're not going to show the clip, but we will put it up for a reel, maybe some of the murder scenes.
The murder.
Murder. I think it's really cool at the end though, when Shazam actually gets Envy to come out. And then he ends up falling off the damn bridge or whatever. Can't fly anymore because he's a normal dude because the Envy little hobgoblin thing.
Yeah.
It's like, that was good. He said, you feel worthless and you feel that because you're so small and you can't even fight like the other sins. I'm like, damn. Why are you talking shit, dog?
You know, I come at him like, shit, all right, man.
Yeah, we over here bullying bad guys now?
All right. Well, since we were talking about it, let's go to the second scene, the murderous rampage.
My favorite
It
scenes?
actually reminded me a lot of Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock. I don't know if you remember that scene, where like he first gets like the tentacles and they're trying to like surgically take them off. Then those like the arms just go crazy, start murdering all the doctors and nurses in there. That's what it kind of reminded me of a little bit.
There you go.
But yeah, so in the second scene, he's finally about to get his revenge on his father for all those years of torment and just talking shit.
Yeah, belittling. You know he was dead, belittled the hell out of him. He's not even on the board of directors of this company.
No. Like even the security guard was like, "Who are you?" Like didn't know him at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then even after in the car scene, right after he got back from the temple, his dad was just like, "That is enough. You are like the worst child ever."
Yes.
Like, damn, dude.
Just goes off. So he's been getting mentally and emotionally abused his entire life. And so thus comes somewhat of the origin story. So that's his trauma.
Right.
But then, you know, the other boy, he has his trauma too, where his mom leaves him. So, I'm kind of confused on why he went so bad. But I'm not confused. I mean, we're going to get into that. But I'm like, I still, as a young boy, there's no way he had all this evil in his heart.
Right.
If we're going back to the first scene. But now in the second scene, well, shit, now he's pure evil now.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like you said, I think it's just a buildup. Like his environment around him was just such a negative one. And then after he got back from the temple, it just kept on building and building. And you could even say that he might have even blamed himself for the car accident and everything like that. So not only are you building anger, but then you're also building like just even more resentment, I guess, because now your father hates you for him losing his legs and stuff. So
I would assume also some of the obsession would be he did touch the orb, and thus I would assume that maybe that perseverated in his head, and thus drove the the neuroticism. So that could be it too. He still saw the images.
Right.
That scene when he confronts his dad, I was actually kind of like happy because like, fuck his dad.
His dad was a piece of shit.
Yeah. And his brother looked like the biggest turd. Like how he goes to step up to him or like in the chair.
Real.
Yeah. Back up, bro. He
Right.
just looked like such a bro.
Calm down, thin hair. All right.
I was like, what's going on right now? And he's like, you don't need to make a scene. Like you ain't even supposed to be up here. I'm like, wow, y'all really hated this little kid.
Yeah.
And then he throws the 8-ball at him. And I was like, oh. I didn't think he was gonna throw him out the window. I mean, spoiler, right? We're not gonna show it on here, but there's a chance that I might put on a reel. One of the sins, greed. go ahead and eats the dad and beats him up. So intense scene where the vengeance is taken.
Yes. And still, like I said, man, that one dude who played Lex Luthor's dad, he knows how to play DC villains, like or evil dads, apparently.
Yeah, abusive fathers.
Yeah, he really knows how to play an abusive father. That's not the case in real life.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think kind of still touching on that point of him just festering inside of his head. I think the seven deadly sins obviously like multiplied everything, and he became even worse. But let's be honest. I mean, he was trying to find that temple for all like most of his life.
Yep.
So he was obsessed with that, and he knew what he was going to do when he took that eye. He was like,
game time.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill you. Like,
yeah. There's a
thanks for
list
not
of people
picking
I'm
me.
going to kill. Yeah. It's like, do I have this in an Excel sheet somewhere? What order should I go? Or it's like when you want to watch Star Wars. Do I kill them in chronological order? And like, what order do I kill them?
Yes. How should I do this?
This is. I think we're giving people ideas. We do not support any harm to anyone on this podcast.
No. Yeah, we should have probably said that first. Like, don't kill your dads, or
Yeah.
siblings, or
Yeah.
anybody.
No one. Don't bite anyone. Don't. Yeah. No.
Peace, love, and positivity.
Yep.
That's what we want here. So I kind of want to get into, why did you pick the third scene?
So I thought the third scene tied it all together. It's them confronting each other. It's like, hey man, I know how it feels. He's trying to reason with him. I know how it feels to feel worthless, to feel neglected, to feel ignored, forgotten. I know, and he doesn't know that, right? His mom thought he was nothing and left him.
Right.
Because he just found that out a few scenes before this. So it's a horrible thing, right? He knows, and he's trying to, empathize with him. Hey, man, like, they're using you. These sins, they're using you. All this anger and resentment, hostility, your father, it's polluting and corroding your mind, and you don't want to do this. I have that talk with clients all the time. You don't want to do this. Whether it be school, whether it be self-harm, whether it be, this other thing, drugs, alcohol, whatever that negative thing is in their life, you don't want to do this. And so I can therapize it. And I said, well, since we touched all scenes, I can technically just get into therapizing this now.
Yeah.
I was talking to a human. I said, you already know what you want to do. You don't want to be in school anymore. You already know this. Everyone knows this. Everyone suggests this. I told you this last year. You looked me in the eye. I said, you should quit. Actually, specifically, I said, I hope you fail this major exam. This big thing to continue in grad school. I hope you fail this exam, because then you'll be forced out. But of course, they did well. So they stayed, and so then we talk about it. You know what you want to do. And the goodness and all the joys inside of you are dying every day. And then now you come to me, and what do you want me to do? You want me to force you to stay in school? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. You know what you need to do to actually live a happy life. Now, you can let the misery in school and all that shit weigh you down, like these sins weigh you down because of shame and guilt, and I'm going to feel like an idiot, or I'll be embarrassed if I don't graduate school, or people will talk about me. Fuck these people. You're never going to see these people again.
Right.
What good does that do if you commit suicide? You got two choices. It's very simple in my mind. It's two choices. You go live a happy life. Maybe you're making less money, but a happy life alive, or you stay in misery. But there's that shame, that guilt, that embarrassment that weighs us down, like him, embarrassed by his father for so long. Now he's coming back with a vengeance. Now he's coming back to take over. Now he's coming to show people who he is. And I got students like that too, man. I need to do something big and great. I need to do this, this, and that. And then they come back to me later on and I didn't do none of that shit. Like, okay, it's fine. Like, what's the point of life? I should just like quit and drop out of school. I'm like, no. The statistical odds that you were going to be like a professional athlete or a Nobel Prize winner are slim to none. Awesome dream to have. Also, let's set some realistic goals and expectations of the trajectory in life That way, every time you fail, you don't feel like a piece of shit that deserves to die.
Right.
You don't feel like your parents are going to think that you're worthless and then kick you out of the house or out of their lives because you got a C or because you didn't get a certain job with this one company instead of Google. You're still making $90,000. Motherfucker, I was still in poverty when I got my first job. You're making $90K. You'll be all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my friends, so Mark Strong, Thad in this show, why are you worthy? Why are you? You're just a boy. I was a boy. He said I was nobody. I didn't deserve it.
Mm.
So another reason why I thought we could pick this scene is the competition between us and our peers.
Mm.
I do it. We all do it. I don't give a shit who you are. We look, we see, we're watching what they got, what they doing, huh? Right? And then you're comparing yourself to this and that. And sometimes it sets in. Why they got these clothes, or they lost that weight, or now they got a kid. Yeah. Shit sets in. And so that competition can also start up some greed, some envy, right? Some hostility. I feel like his character, Thad, is very relatable, other than all the murder shit. I feel like I'm always saying that now, other than all the murder shit.
I know. It's like we do it with Vecna, do it with so many people. We're just like, you know what? He had a point, but.
Venom when he wasn't
for the
eating
murder
people.
Thing.
Yeah.
Except for the murder.
Yeah. We got a lot of Thanos except for when he was murdering genocide. He was a good guy.
He just, just wanted half the population away. That's
it. He was a father.
Was he?
I didn't say good. I just said he was a father.
Fair enough. An adoptive father.
Yeah, true. So that's some of the reasons why I picked these consecutive clips is because of all that shit and chaos. This is the part of the show where me and you start talking about some of the things and how we're therapizing and looking at it. I mean, I know you've been there.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sure even now in the job market or before in the job market, maybe in class, maybe in ball.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right. Shit just sparks up. Even like when we're playing sports, we get competitive, but and then sometimes we get like angry competitive, and then that fucks everything up.
Yeah.
So there's so many different ways to take these clips.
It is.
And to take Thad's experience, because FYI, everyone, most people feel like Thad and Shazam in this. They do.
Yeah.
Very insecure, very scared, not knowing what the world's going to bring, wondering why they don't have this instead of that other person. I'm like, shit, that other person ain't got nothing either. Compared to all these other people. And all those other people with all that other shit, they're still depressed. They just don't tell you they are.
Right.
So if you heard all that and then you're like, well, fuck, what's the point of trying? Don't take it like that. I'm just saying, don't compare yourself to everyone else. Everyone's kind of sad and insecure. So just be comfortable who you fucking are.
It would have been cool if Thad and Billy kind of got together on that, because they both technically didn't really have families. And, and that's kind of the thing, right? Instead of like coming together and being like, hey, I've been in where you are, different situation, obviously. But still his family didn't want, but neither of their families wanted them, really.
Question.
Yes.
I feel like I want to ask this because I feel this is a good direction.
Go for it.
What situation is worse, having a father and a brother that mentally, emotionally abuse you for your entire life, or having a mother that just leaves you and dumps you? Both are horrific.
Yes, both are pretty bad. But for me, Billy especially, he got very lucky because a lot of people in like foster homes and stuff, they get into really bad situations.
Yep.
And I felt like with Thad, he had the tools to really to not be in any situation like that. He probably still got supported somewhat by his
privileges,
dad, I would assume. Yeah. He had probably some connections because of that. I agree. But yeah, that's a tough one, because honestly, Billy, I probably wouldn't want to be in his situation because he still doesn't have any tools at all. He's still going home to home, and he's trying to find somebody. that doesn't want him. Obviously, he doesn't know that yet, but yeah, I think I would probably pick Thad because he had a lot more opportunities to get ahead in life, while Billy didn't have those opportunities at all. And if, you know, I mean, we can make this a race issue if we want, but, you know, if he was a young black kid in the system, probably wouldn't have done any of that. Probably wouldn't have been in that grave of family, most likely.
Yep.
But maybe he would have. I don't know, because they had
Now
a
that,
lot of diverse people in that home. So I don't know.
true, and in reality, the numbers for kids in foster care is pretty bad. I think
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact data for number of homes. I feel like the average was like 8 to 12 homes that they're in over the
Yeah.
course until they age out. And a lot of people age out with nowhere to go.
Right.
So you're right. Bad's got resources, support, education, money. I would not want to be either one of them mentally, but one is more
Yeah.
blessed and privileged than the other. So I think your choice is correct.
But I do think, though, mentally, though, I will say Billy, I like Billy's mentality because he, just like that, he's determined by something, but it's a very innocent. It's very innocent what he wants. He just wants to have a family with his mom. He's not looking power, vengeance, all that stuff.
Yep.
And that's why, you know, he got picked as a champion, because he didn't want those things. He didn't want power, didn't want greed, didn't
He
want
wanted
to like
love.
show anybody up. He just wanted, you know, he just got it. He didn't
He just
even
wanted
want it
love.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted connection and love.
Hmm.
Look at that. So sad. Billy was such a cute kid too. He just was so innocent looking, so cute.
He was. He was. He was like, "Oh, my mom.
Yeah, I
You love
know.
me?" No.
That was that was tough. And then, but she was
That
in
was
an
a really bad
abusive
scene.
relationship too, because it sounded like that dude was gonna kick her ass, and
Oh yeah.
I assume there's some drugs involved. She did not look healthy.
No.
That was intense. If we go back to that first scene,
Hmm.
I thought it could be interesting where I told you Spence is, we get locked in these mental states. So, right, we're always trying to therapize these things. Therapize. Sunday night. You go into the temple. Any scene where he goes into the temple, actually, the one with Shazam's quite funny. With Billy, I'll talk about that in a second. But when Thad goes in there, right, and you got all this shit, this person's telling you this and that, and then you got all these whispers and these demons telling you things and they're saying this. In our real life, that happens all the time. Insecurity sets in, doubt sets in, crippling anxiety sets in. I'm talking with my students. I'm like, oh, you're not anxious, man. You look pretty normal, pretty chill. Like, they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, man, you always look chill in my office. You're like, no, I'm like a ball of like knots. I'm like, you look fine.
Yeah.
And then we slowly start breaking down the chronological order and how they think and how they operate throughout the day. And I'm like, got it. So you're overwhelmed by thoughts constantly, and you're constantly predicting the negatives, few positives. So your anxiety is just being overwhelmed.
Hmm.
You don't really so much as have the panic, but without the medication, then it does go into panic, because now you can't fight the fears anymore, the intrusive thoughts. You can make up the scenarios with the meds, you can fight it.
Right.
Without the meds, ding, now you're in the panic mode. I'm like, okay, so that's why you look more calm in my office. And so my mentality is to start boosting up people's worth, identity. I'm doing this hand motion in the middle because it all comes from the middle.
Hmm.
The core belief. If your core belief is, I'm a piece of shit,
Hmm.
then your thoughts will align with all of that, and your actions will move forward with that.
Mm.
So in that temple, the boy starts having intrusive thoughts about this and that. He sees the orb. His
Hmm.
core belief is that he's a piece of shit and he sucks, because that's what his father told him. And so he went and reached for the orb. Like you said, Spence, probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
I can almost guarantee you, in my young age, with the stuff that was going on, whatever was the easiest route to gain some type of safety or security, I'm taking.
Right. Right.
Good scene for intrusive thoughts.
Hmm.
For people that deal with a lot of different voices in their head, Not schizophrenia voices, just voices. And
It's a little bit different. Just a little bit.
vastly different. Delusional thoughts and right and all that. That's different stuff. We're talking about the voices that you hear.
Right.
Is it you being affirming to yourself, or is it you saying that you're trash? And then how can we talk back to those things? I had a human come in, say, I'm angry. I said, boy, you ain't angry. I'm looking at you right now. You ain't angry. I love fucking with people. Of course I ain't angry right now.
Yeah. Nothing like being an instigator.
Yeah, not like being an instigator. He was like, oh, I'm just waiting for one day. You want to see me angry? Boy, I knocked his little ass out.
Oh my God.
Now what, punk? Now what? Little 12-year-old kid.
What? You think you're big now? You think you're a big man? Man.
Big man.
You got some big pants on, don't you? You got some big old pants.
Oh man. So the human comes in, I'm angry. And the human talks about the traumas that they've been through. I'm like, oh, okay. So we get into it, and I was like, damn. Ain't too often I go, damn.
Right.
We did a scene on Mom where she talked about ADHD, and the therapist in that scene, for those of you folks who didn't see it, hilarious skit scene on therapy and ADHD. He's like, hey man, that ADHD kind of saved your life. Like, because of that, you were able to dissociate, not noticing things that are going around with you. Well, this human, I said, man, that anger, that hostility, that you talking shit, that you coming back strong, it actually saved your life. Looks like it saved your brother's life too, because you took action when everyone else would have been scared and run. Like, you handled business. The thing is now you always think that you have to handle business and fight. You don't have to fight anymore. You're in college, everything's safe. But you keep getting physically reactive like you need to fight.
Right.
You're fine though. Also like the Steven Universe clip that we did. His body's so fucking traumatized that now he's just blowing up into that pink ball.
Yeah.
So we work with humans on stop shaming the anger. I said, I got it too. Don't get me wrong. I got it too. That little ball, it's there. I don't shame him though. Nasty Nas is there at any time I want him. I don't call him a piece of shit. He served me when I needed him.
Right.
Now I can have fun and play and be educated and smart, talk to you, right? I have a good time. Old school Nas would have been like, oh, let's murder.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
I think all of us on this podcast have some anger in us.
Oh, everyone does. Everyone does.
Yeah, it's true.
Everyone does. And I'm going to genderize it a little bit because it is the thing. You know, women, they're not going to be able to show it because they're not supposed to, this and that, femininity, and that doesn't fit in where the men can let it out a little bit more. But everyone does. Everyone does. Mine came out the other day and I was like, so sorry for the dramatic pause, but I was like, am I about to hurt somebody right now?
Right.
Am I breathing hard? Like, why am I making a stabby motion?
Why am I biting my bottom lip as I'm doing the stabby motion?
In group therapy, we talked about being angry, and one of the people was angry, and then the one person goes, fuck yeah, fuck that lady. She's such an instigator.
Wow, starting a mob in group therapy.
I'm telling you, man, my baby ready to go in group therapy. And so we start going over technique. I know you got to use your shoulder.
Oh my God. For those on the podcast, we do not condone stabbing.
We do not condone stabbing, but you should know the right technique.
Jeez.
No violence at all. And everyone knows this in group therapy too. If
you're so all over the place. Don't stab, but if you do, twist.
Well, you better do it right, because otherwise they're gonna kill you. So
everyone at home, if you don't kill them while you stab them, they're coming after you. So
you better be able to run. If
oh
you
my God!
like me,
all right, we gotta move on.
I'm done.
Jesus.
Okay, I was just trying to get to the point that stop shaming all these parts of yourself. They probably helped you in the moments that you needed. It's a big thing. You want to stop feeling like shit? Start soothing some of those things. Start being more kinder to some of those entities. If
Right.
Thad could have done that before he got to the big guys, maybe a different story. But now he's like locked in prison for his whole life. Other than that weird snail-looking fucking thing that talked to him, I don't know what that
It was a
was.
caterpillar, I
Yeah.
think. It would talk. But yeah, you would think like if he would have had therapy or something. I feel like he was too arrogant to be in therapy, if that makes sense. That sounds like a fucked up thing to say, but
Yeah.
I think it's true. I think once you think that you're fine and that as long as you do this certain thing in your life and that's all you need to do and that's it. He neglected a lot of things in his life to really make him happy.
Oh, yeah.
Building a family or even just, not caring what his father thinks, I think, or his brother. I think if he would have done that, then he would have been fine and just moved on. But he wanted power over everything. And
Power
look
over
where it got
who?
him. Oh, probably over, you say his father, but I think over everybody, though.
You're true. You're right. Over everyone, but it was.
But particularly his father. Yeah, because then he could be like, what? Now what? Can't say anything now.
Because you did.
I know. even after he died, he was like, I'm going to keep this going. I'm going to keep it going.
Yeah. This feels good.
You know what? I like this. This is a nice feeling we have here.
Yeah. What?
Total control.
Total control. Which doesn't make any. Which I was confused is okay. So they were using him,
right?
The 7 deadly sins, but like,
yep.
How was it going to manifest? Was his body going to deteriorate or something, or he was just going to keep destroying everything because that's what they wanted him to do?
I feel like it would just. I feel like if they would have they were too weak to be on their own, so they needed a host.
Yeah.
And so if they would have gotten the powers, then they would have been fine on their own.
So
right?
maybe then they could have been.
They would have been, yeah. They instead of having a host, then they could just be on their own, and he probably would have fucking died.
Yeah, instantly. Yeah, because the 7 would have took over.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
And they're like, we don't need you anymore. So
that makes sense now.
That's what I think.
That sounds correct. Can you imagine these gargoyles in Shazam outfits? So is there enough spandex for that?
Like, damn.
If there is,
got muscly.
If there is, we're going to put Different Spectrums podcast on spandex.
Different Spectrums. We selling merch, people. We selling merch.
We sell merch.
This is not a shameless plug. I have no shame in this. Buy our shit.
I'm going to be selling it out in my office.
Damn straight.
Yeah. You pass this semester, you buy some yoga pants.
Hey, by the way, go on to shop.differentspectrumspod.com to get your merch today. We have hats, we have shirts, we have bottoms coming soon. We have hoodies, we have crew necks, we have all of it. We have stickers, mugs. The whole shebang bang.
Hats.
So I just said hats already. Said hats.
Coloring books.
It's gonna be our faces. Just draw us.
Yeah.
They rip it out. Never look at it again. Stab it. So much stabbing in this episode.
I'm so sorry. It's just we keep doing villains, man. I don't.
Not going like, you know what? Let's do Vecna. Let's do
everyone that got their feelings hurt.
Let's do everyone who's a serial killer and a sociopath.
I'm telling
Let's do it. All right. I mean, yeah. I told you before, I'm not very excited about this next Shazam. It could be good. It has Lucy Liu in it, so could be good. And I saw that Sinbad is in the movie, so I love me some Sinbad.
Okay.
So, but for me, after they kind of canceled Black Adam after one movie, I'm kind of like, isn't that like his main villain? Like, what the heck?
Because that's who they were talking about. Unleash the 7 deadly sins was Black Adam.
Yeah. Yeah. And he was the last member in the Hall of Champions.
Yep.
So that sucks. And I felt like, that I liked the movie personally. having somebody like The Rock be a superhero, I thought was pretty cool.
I thought the movie was fine.
I liked it. I thought it was good enough to where he should have been in other movies.
Correct. And then you bring in Superman, you bring in Shazam, whatever. It could have went on.
It would. Can you imagine having those three in a fucking movie? That would have been dope.
Yep.
Dope. So, that's why
I
I'm
don't know who
kind
the
of
hell's
like,
fighting them.
Yeah, no one, no one is fighting them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess we'll see about that. Thaddeus, what a villain.
He's a villain.
I think he's probably one of the underrated villains, and
probably in the DC universe, 100%.
It's tough because you got so many good villains.
Yep.
In the DC universe, right? So
yeah, he's a young boy that was turned, and every villain usually has a trauma background, and then his is intense, and then he finds a way to gain power, and just in case if any of you are tempted, like some of the humans I work with, the anger did you well back then, but now in the professional realm, adult realm, it's not going to do well anymore, because now what are you going to do? You're going to hit your kids? You're going to hit your partner? You're going to fight someone at the grocery store over a parking spot? You're going to get road rage and then pull out a gun? I mean, it's not. That's how you end up in jail or end up killing someone or hurting. I mean, that's how you continue generational trauma. Right. And so that might have had you okay for a minute, but you can no longer go into that as someone that's been in that. As someone that's latched on to that anger, vengeance. I'm going to show you, I'm going to be good at this, right? Part of the reason why I'm doing this doctorate is this.
Right.
I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I can't wait to graduate. I posted a few pictures and like a middle finger to some humans, to society, to teachers in elementary, to teachers in my graduate school that looked at me funny, that said things, that tried to kick me out of my program in graduate school, the internship people. So the more I talk about it, I can name off hundreds of people that treated me like shit.
Right.
And if I focus, I can focus on all the people that really helped me out, had my back. The people that I went back to after I worked for a couple of years, and I wore this nice suit and I showed them how good I was doing and how much I loved them for giving me a shot because I got kicked out of this, and this.
Right.
I'm lucky that I was able to turn a lot of that around. I'm lucky that I met a lot of good people, a lot of good women that was like, Nas, they're not worthless. I'm like, I'm not. I think I am worthless though. It's a bitch, man. I'll be working with students. And we do good work. And they always say, I'm so glad I got you, Nas, Mr. Zerka. Instead of those other people. This one human a couple years ago said, I seen this white lady come out and then grab this other student. And I said, damn. I said, what happened? She said, I just said, damn. They unlucky as shit. They got to work with that lady instead of you. I was like, oh my God, did you just compliment me?
Oh my God.
Oh my God, Karen.
Oh.
Human did that the other day. And I said, you need to shut up. Because I started crying
You
instantly.
take it well.
I did not take it well. Instantly started crying.
You were terrible at taking compliments. You're just like... Same with I feel the same way with Dom. Anytime I try to compliment her, she's like, thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks.
I should give her some of my blood pressure medicine. It'll calm her down.
Oh, my God.
I eat like Skittles now. People say one nice thing.
Oh, my God. Wow, you're so calm. Yeah, let me take this real quick.
I do not do that. That was a joke. Sarcasm. Do not take extra medication unless told by a doctor. We are not getting sued.
We've made it too damn far for this.
Yeah, way too far. But in all reality, man, it's tough, man. I grew up thinking I was worthless for a long time. I remember in graduate school being checked multiple times because of my ADHD, and like I just said something, and then people start jumping on my ass. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I didn't mean to say, I didn't call someone by their title. I said, hey, Janine, or whatever the hell their name was. And they said, call them by their title, doctor, or this or that. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I'm not been in internships where they're like, you're ghetto, you're unintelligent. You're just another bro. You're too much, and it's too much. Why? Because I'm playing with the students and I'm talking about Call of Duty. They don't even go around you, but they respect me. They're around me. I've got them all sitting in a circle, but somehow I get kicked out of the internship.
Yeah.
And I just grew up thinking I was worthless until, I'm not gonna lie, homie, I probably thought I was worthless all the way until I was at St. Mary's.
Jesus.
Maybe a couple years into St. Mary's, I'm like, what's the point to life? And then you start connecting with people, and then they're just happy around you.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? You mean to tell me that you're just going to be happy because you're around me as a human? Get the fuck out of here! How's this reality?
And I can't believe it still. Like, Jesus, why am I still? Am I still happy around this guy? What the fuck?
He's just talking shit to me.
I know.
I do tell my clients that. I said, if we were actually friends, you would hate me because I would just be bullying you the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah. People don't understand that. Like, wow, you're so nice. Just wait. Flip the switch.
You only want to know him just so much.
He's a friend. Like, uh-oh. Better run.
Yeah.
Better run now.
you know therapy now. So I say this, and Spence, I don't know if you felt like that in this situation. You don't have to share that, but wait. Just because you feel worthless now does not mean that you're always going to feel like that.
Right.
By time, find some good people. If you can't find some good people, you need to be one. You know, right? You keep stirring. If you're always people are fucking with you and they're always starting drama and all this shit, is it you starting a drama? But I'm getting away from that.
Right.
Just wait, be patient. Good people will come to you. Maybe if you're anxious, we need to get you to start talking to people like my clients. They said the other day, I did your homework. I said, shit, I don't remember the homework. What was it? He said, I talked to someone at the gym. I said, good for you.
Wow.
Yeah. They say anything back? Nope. Well, you tried.
Only so much you can do.
You try stabbing them?
It'll get their attention real quick.
Yeah, you talking now, motherfucker.
Janine stabbed me. He knew my name.
He knew my name, that motherfucker.
Damn.
But yeah, Spence, feeling unworthy is a vibe. So I'm glad that we did this pod because I've related to a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
Minus the murder.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that honestly. Yeah, I think I'm lucky because my mom always, I've always had her as support. Yep. But growing up, I was a weird kid, and I was always weird, and I was always just saying things like just bluntly and everything like that, and just being an odd kid and not being very shy. I was always also very, very shy. So, yeah, I mean, not being able to at least, speak on how I want to people or on certain subjects sucks. Even to this day, sucks because it's like I don't want to be like seen as dumb or anything like that. But at the same time, I'm also like, I don't care anymore. Like, I don't care what you think because there are some people like, especially like, sometimes I get going back to like the jealousy thing. It's like, especially on like social media and stuff, you see certain people liking certain things and then they don't like yours. And you're like, why don't they like my stuff? And it's all like so technical and everything like that. It's all, it's just.
We see it. We be thinking about it. We shouldn't even think about it, but we see it.
I know.
I remember always checking on Snapchat who looked at my stuff. Yep. And then I'd be like responding to people's stuff and then they don't ever respond to my stuff. I'm like, man, fuck you, man.
I know. I just had somebody add me on as a friend on Facebook. I was like, hey, never responded back. Looked at it, never responded. I'm like, why did you add me? Why? Why did you do that?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I have no idea.
It's so dumb. So dumb. But yeah, I think it's not bad wanting to get, approval from some people. I think people that matter, obviously. But once you just keep on honing in on it and that's all you want is approval from other people,
not good.
Yes. Once you become obsessive, that's where it gets really bad. And I myself get in states where I'm like obsessive about certain things where they shouldn't matter, but yet I'm still like just like thinking about it over and over and over again, and I go through my head and all this stuff, and like I can't get it out unless I either like talk about it or it just, I don't know, or if I just, try to calm myself somehow. um it just goes into one of those states, and it sucks being in that mental state of you just thinking about something over and over again. And that's
And
where I
then you
think
don't
I can,
sleep.
yeah, and that's where I can think of like Thad, right? He has that thought of being back in that temple over and over and over again, and it's just obsessive, and it takes over his whole life, and that's where he is,
He could have put it in so many other directions. Probably could have changed the world for a better. And then he just,
Honestly.
but he just couldn't get out of that cycle, that neurotic cycle of obsession of taking over and proving his father wrong. He went into
Right.
domination. And that's
Yeah.
also a masculinity thing too, is a lot of us go into the want or need of domination.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have arguments with some people or talk to some people, and I said, "You're not even listening. We're not even talking. You're just trying to dominate me right now."
Right.
I said, "For what? Where's this going? This domination?
Mm-hmm.
Take it. Take the win. Fuck it. I don't even care." Um, where Billy, he's all about love and connection, but he gets shit on by his ma. But you're
Mm-hmm.
right, he wasn't rotten. So the other kid became rotten. Maybe Billy. There's a good chance Billy was going to maybe become rotten after his ma told him to piss off.
I think so. But
That
if he wouldn't have had like his adoptive siblings,
Yep.
I think if he didn't have them, he probably would have gone down that road, and
Yeah,
it would have
they were
been
awesome.
very bad. Yes, they were very awesome. Also, with that, um, it's interesting because he's just so turned off by just love and affection overall, because he wants to only have one person's love and affection, and he thinks that he's going to forget about his mom. That's what I think. I think
Yep.
if he accepts love from other people, then he's just going to act like the love for his mom is just not there anymore,
And
or
that's
he'll
even more
forget her.
guilt and shame because he gave up on
Mm-hmm.
her. Yep, you're right. That's a good point to
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
So that's why he shuts himself off to everyone else, stays on that one goal.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I tell you, when the little girl, the little black girl, she's
Yeah.
also the daughter on This Is Us. She is the cutest fucking thing in the world.
He's very adorable.
When she they're in the school and she gives him a hug and he's like, "You don't have to hug me. We're not even siblings." And she gets all pouty and walks away. And I was like, "Oh my god, you hurt her!
How
Oh,
would you hurt her?
how could you do that? You piece of shit!"
Go in the closet. Stay
Yeah.
there.
I'm telling you. I love the story arc of Billy and Shazam just in general, and him gaining
Yeah.
confidence. I would like to see. I want to actually see this movie. Rarely do I get geeked up to see a movie, but because this one to me was so funny and I enjoyed the arc,
Right.
not something that you see this kid out of nowhere foster care, right? It's usually something else.
Right. Well, I mean, DC has a thing about foster kids.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Orphans.
I
Any type
have a
of
thing about
orphan.
bad parents.
Batman, Superman.
Yep.
They're all orphans.
Yeah. It's like none of us get love from our fathers in DC. No fathers, mom
Yeah.
leaves you.
They're either dead or don't like you.
Yeah, well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Jesus. All adults in DC, good luck. I personally want to see it. I would like to know. I don't know. Are they going to have the other 6 coming back, or like the Megan Good and all them? And
Yeah, they're all coming back. All the kids are coming back. And then actually, the older sister, she's actually playing herself as like the
Hulk.
Shazam
Yeah.
version. She's
Yeah.
actually playing herself.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Yeah, but they're bringing everybody back for it.
Oh, that was so long ago. These kids are all going to be grown as hell now.
They're old as hell now.
Yeah, they're all like 30.
Like Shazam.
Like, damn, boy.
Were you going backwards in time?
Yeah.
Back then? What the
How you
hell?
know that facial hair? He was like, I almost said a funny word. You were a small person back then.
And that's the thing. And also, like, all their alter egos are fucking old now too.
Yeah, they're all like decrepit and shit.
I'll get you.
Yeah, where's my pal Torin at?
Oh my god, my hip hurts.
I ain't gonna lie, man. My fucking wrist is starting to like hurt now. Anytime it gets cold out, I can barely even move my hand. It's
I got the arthritis.
I'm telling you, I got the itis.
All right.
The itis. I got the beatus. I got all the isses.
Got ooze.
Yeah. I got the aspiness, the tism.
All right.
All right, let's end the show.
Yes. Before we get into more trouble.
I love Shazam. I just wanted to do this show,
yeah.
and because the new movie's coming out, we figured we pump it out. We get right on that wave of popularity.
Yeah. Honestly, I'll probably see it too. I mean, might as well. There's
If
no
I
other
find out
movies
it's the
coming
same director, Spence, I'm gonna go see it in the theater. If it's not the same director, then I might wait.
Fair enough. I mean, it'll be on HBO probably in a few months, anyways.
Yep.
But yeah, so thank you everybody for joining us. Really appreciate it. Remember, hit those subscribe, like, follow, all that fun stuff down below. Down below. Right. Yep, right there. Also, our website is up. So please check that out. We have merch on the site. You just click on shop and then click on one of the buttons, new arrivals, which they're all new arrivals, but had to make it look fancy.
Yeah.
The most popular, even though nobody bought something new yet.
How's all this shit that popular?
And also tell us what clips you'd like us to watch. We're gonna be taking a look at different anime shows. I think what are we doing next? Also,
We're gonna do this Ratatouille, and then we're gonna do Attack on Titans.
Yes.
We might
do
throw
Dragon
in
Ball Z at some point.
Yep, we would like to get to Dragon Ball Z. We might do a little John Wick because that's coming out. And what's the Korean one we wanted to get to? With Dom?
The Kim's Convenience.
There we go. I was going to say the 7-Eleven show.
Not going to do that invitation. So we have a lot coming down the line. If you have any comments, let us know down below. So with that, I'm Spencer. That's Nas. And this is the Different Spectrums Podcast.
Much love, people.
I love you.
Peace.